I'm quite concerned with what I put in my body now more than ever. Instead of starting your day with coffee and having this high of caffeine and then a terrible crash, you can be more productive and appreciate a fine Ceylon tea that will take you through your day consistently because of the power of L-theanine and caffeine. Correct?
You better be asking me this question for academic reasons, only for the benefit of our viewers.
Oh, come on. Seriously. The World Health Organization estimates that around 20 million people have died in the last 2 years globally from heart disease or stroke. And I thought it'll be a great opportunity to catch my father and have a quick discussion on how health, wellness, the future of wellness is something to do with Ceylon tea.
Well, actually, that stat connects, unfortunately, with another that talks of the rising incidence of mental health issues. I think the last stat I saw there was 1 in 3 people are either diagnosed or suffering from some sort of mental health. Not surprising given the way the world is going and, the stresses people have, environmental stresses and work stresses, life stresses, and so on. But, San, I think the key point here is that tea was first discovered as a medicine. It only became a beverage in the 1600s when the Portuguese, when Catherine of Aragon brought it into England, etc.
Who's Catherine of Aragon?
She came and married into the British royal family. She was a princess from Portugal. You should know that because that's part of your tea history.
I'm going to do it now.
Yeah, well, yeah, absolutely. Read up on it and we'll talk about it later. But that's for another podcast. Don't distract me now.
Okay, sorry. Back to health.
And so, there's a lot of power in that history. I guess relevance more than power, in the sense that connecting with Emperor Shennung's discovery of tea as a medicine. Emperor Shennung was also the father of traditional Chinese medicine, TCM, which is a powerful and very present form of medical treatment. It's about holistic healing. And I think that's very much what tea is about. And in fact, I need to plunge my tea. And when you connect that with what the Chinese poet Lu Yu spoke of, they talked of how tea, the first cup, it soothes your soul, and eventually going to the 7th bowl, and it's taking you to Elysium. Elysium at that time was mythically the equivalent of heaven. Now, where that is relevant is that was referring to the mental health in tea. Then Shennung talks of the physiological benefits, the protective benefits of tea, the therapeutic impact of regular tea consumption. But then if you fast forward to today, look at the research done by ECU in Australia, connecting with, I think it was Harvard Medical in the US and in Ireland, Queen's University, talking about how regular consumption of at least 2 cups of tea a day enhances longevity, scientifically proven with, I think the sample was in the hundreds of thousands. So ultimately, everything that Shennung in 2737 BC spoke of in connection with tea, its detoxifying benefit, its life enhancing, its mental mind enhancing aspect, everything is proven by modern science. And the key is the fact that in tea you have these estimated 200 different compounds, ranging from flavor compounds like linalool, which is very well known, all the way to L-theanine and a whole family of antioxidants. When you frame that in the reality that it is there because of nature, because of the influence of nature on the plant, and that synergy between the Camellia sinensis plant and its ambient conditions, because it is nature through its wind conditions that, for example, makes uva seasonal flush what it is, and it is brightness and afternoon showers that makes a beautiful neuralia an Aurelia. And when you talk about the Dilmah seasonal flush, I mean, you've tasted that beautifully oaky, cedary, etc. It's not done by us. I mean, we call ourselves tea makers, but it's done by nature. But the critical thing is this, that great flavor, that taste is connected to natural goodness because it is the antioxidants that define the flavor, the intensity, the whole personality of a tea. So you have in tea this powerful, I can use the word powerful now, the powerful benefit in the fact that the taste equates very much to goodness, and which is why your grandfather, in the early days, made a commitment to taste, and in doing so, we made a parallel commitment to goodness and, of course, purpose, but we'll talk about that later. So, absolutely.
I
And
mean, now more than ever, I think the relevance to wellness and healthy living is, I mean, it's top of mind for every single person I've met. And I think everything you've touched on, what I've noticed recently is that Western pharmaceutical practices, supplementation, taking, artificial essentially, medication to help with your healthy lifestyle and prevention, actually, people are realizing that looking at the East, looking at nature, looking at the natural pharmacopoeia that nature has to offer, uh, and realizing the true benefit. And it comes back to everything you spoke about just now, about the antioxidants, about properties like L-theanine, like linalool. I mean, they've tried to extract it and concentrate it, but is it truly natural? Are you doing your body justice? And it's funny how now there's so many different, products coming out, saying, this is good for you. This is prebiotic. This is good for your gut. It's funny how black tea, Ceylon black tea, from the very start, this ancient herb had that baseline. It was always there. Just nobody spoke about it until now.
yeah, when you look at medicine, synthetic medicine,
Yeah.
what you need to realize also, would you like some tea, son?
Let me finish this one. Yeah.
Okay. You need to also realize that most of it, I think the last estimate I had was over 50% is derived specifically from natural sources, which means it's something that exists in nature, which may have been synthesized and has been made into medicine. So nature has inspired modern medicine in a very particular way. But the difference with traditional Chinese medicine, TCM, with Ayurveda, with Helavedakang is that for us, we understand the power of nature in its primary form. Tea, as a therapeutic, you can't call it a medicine. It's therapeutic and it's preventative, but it can't be used to treat something like, for example, cancer. But what it'll do is, like you said, people chasing these trends and saying, okay, try this, try that. You've got a tiny bit of extract from a grape skin, and it's the next big thing. But actually, tea is a more powerful adaptogen than many of the products that are touted as being adaptogenic. Tea helps the body cope with ambient stresses, with pollution, with smoke inhalation. Tea helps the body to manage work stress. Tea helps the body through capillary function to be able to transmit blood, and therefore helping to prevent heart disease, stroke. It helps to prevent diabetes, type 2 only. Diabetes, which is sadly becoming prevalent. Middle East, Asia, in Sri Lanka, we love our sweets, but then so do most other people around the world. Helps with mental health, helps protect against dementia. Dementia is a form of diabetes, except it happens in your brain. And so tea is powerful, but also tea has a particular, I guess you could call it a secret superpower. And that is the fact that tea is unique amongst all herbs in containing a combination of L-theanine and and a nominal amount of natural caffeine. When you connect the two, the synergistic effect is in calming without exciting the way caffeine in coffee and caffeine-rich herbs or drinks or foods offer, and instead enhancing alertness, enhancing mood. So, adding to what Shen Nung said, you were in England for university. I mean, I was too. So, things that Auntie Mavis, my guardians back in the day, she would say, look, whenever you're stressed or whatever, she said, put the kettle on, love. And, a lot of science to it, because actually putting the kettle on and having a cup of tea, the L-theanine actually calms. It enhances alertness, and this is all scientifically proven. So, yeah, tea is probably one of the most underrated, fresh tea, of course, pure origin tea, good tea, probably one of the most underrated herbs, drinks.
So what you're telling me is that my generation, who's shifting to tea, but very slowly, unfortunately, instead of starting your day with coffee and having this high of caffeine and then a terrible crash, you can be more productive and appreciate a fine Ceylon tea that will take you through your day consistently because of the power of L-theanine and caffeine, correct?
I think there's two aspects to support that.
Yeah.
The first is the fact that with tea, the act of its preparation is itself a calming prelude to the benefits that you get. So, as you know, I make my own tea. And in fact, you just helped yourself without asking me. But that's okay, just today. So, I make my own tea for one reason. And I have done for years, decades. Because firstly, there's a way of making tea, and it must be done with respect and reverence. Secondly, that act of making tea is in itself a calming experience. But then that connects to something your generation does, and I think you're devaluing their importance for the future in saying that they're doing it too slowly, but actually they're not. They're embracing tea and, importantly, non-alcoholic drinks rapidly. They value natural wellness in a powerful way, which is going to change the world for the better. And they also have information. So they know when somebody's bullshitting them, and they know when it's genuine. And with tea, you've got, 22,000 research papers on PubMed of clinically evidenced research on health benefits of tea in all the areas that I shared. But here's the thing. Tea has that added dimension which gives it the richness, complexity, and relevance in the fact that tea offers a spectrum of taste. So, we have a tea room across here, 10 to 12,000 teas every week. Right now, more in the region of 11 to 12,000. But the point is, all of those different colors connecting to different aromas and flavors and textures, connecting to different food, different beverage, connecting to different mood, different occasions, connecting to individual tastes, connecting to natural health and wellness. Really, it's something that is so incredibly powerful that you can only consider it a gift of nature. It's nothing short of miraculous in that combination of taste and goodness, which is what we as a family stand for. So all that connects definitively to some of the stuff that you've been doing, looking at tea-inspired mixology, whether you're connecting tea with juices or non-alcoholic drinks as you do, or whether you're connecting tea with different types of alcohol as Tomek Mawek and so many others do, or whether you're connecting tea with cheese, that experiential aspect gives tea phenomenal relevance, because you can have something that is really good for you, yet not tasty, and your generation is going to regret it, going to reject it. But when you look at this, on the eye, on the nose, on the palate, you have beautiful experiences in tea.
Now, I have a question for you because you mentioned pairings, right? Okay, I'm gonna personal experience, or I mean, life as it is. I'm quite concerned with what I put in my body now more than ever. In the sense, the type of food and the volume and weight, sort of the nutritional aspects, right? And I think a lot of people do share this same mentality of calorie counting and caring for, the triglycerides and the fats and all that. How does tea, pairing with indulgent moments like the cheese, maybe the chocolate, how can they not only create a sensory experience that is completely unique, but also help with wellness? Like, I mean, we talked about cheese and melting the fat away on your palate. And is there any connection you can maybe inspire me to look into?
You better be asking me this question for academic reasons, only for the benefit of our viewers, because you need to know the answer.
Yeah.
But okay, I'm going to tell you once more, right? So, when you have the richness in a cheese, whether it's something as simple as a cheddar, or it's something complex like some of those beautiful comtés that we've had with Betty
Yes.
in the Netherlands at Lemuse. Tea has a ability to break down the different flavors. So in the comté, you're tasting the specific terroir in the cheese. You're separating the texture. You're breaking down the flavor ingredients. It's like that. I don't know if you remember in Singapore, we had from Fossa.
Oh my gosh, yes,
We
that
had
was
that
amazing.
incredible chocolate. I think it was Ecuadorian chocolate from a specific farm.
Yes,
And so the chocolate on its own, it was good. It was nice chocolate.
it's incredible.
But then when we had it with the Norelia, it broke it down, and the chocolate suddenly exploded into vanilla. It exploded into a little bit of the bitterness of the dark chocolate,
Yeah.
and everything in between. It was a layered experience. So it does the same thing with chocolate, and then the magic. With cheese, it does. It has the same impact. But then the magic is also equally in the next step, which is on the second sip. It cleanses the palate, takes away richness, takes away fats, and that's exactly what tea does in your digestive system. And today, you know that the gut microbiome is critical for human health and wellness,
Yes.
whether it's mood or mental, or whether it's physical or physiological. And I think that is a secret, because when you've eaten something and you follow it up with paired tea, whether it's a salad or whether it's a steak or whether it's Fossa chocolate or cheese from Lemuse, you have the ability to aid digestion, to help your body in digesting and in managing,
Yeah.
and at the same time enjoying the wellness and the taste.
I think a great example is the comments we get when we do the masterclasses, the 7-course degustations, when
Camellia Epicurean.
Camille Epicurean, yes. When these people who've usually done this experience with wines and maybe champagne walk away after 7 courses actually saying, hey, I didn't miss the alcohol, number one, but also I'm feeling lighter and I'm feeling refreshed. My palate's ready for another experience. And that's sort of an example of everything you've just captured.
When we were judging Dilmah, the Real High Tea Challenge, there was one day and it was in Sydney. I was judging with Chef Peter Kuruvita and Chef Bernd Uber, who was the presiding judge. And we had 15 contestants with 4 dishes each, paired dishes. And we were thinking, look, how are we actually going to handle 60 dishes? I mean, it's only tasting, but still, 60 morsels of food. You have to do justice when you're judging. You have to make sure that you assess the food properly. So you have to actually try it. So 60 morsels of food in a day. So we were, I think, at the Sydney Hilton, and we started. And at the end, the other 2 judges who had been, of course, they've been with us for a while, but who also particularly Bernd, who judges many other contests, not tea contests solely, said, look, if that was anything other than tea, I would have bailed out at number 8 or 9, because to do justice, to take the food, taste it, do the pairing, we were drinking tea in between every contestant. We had a whole mug, and at the end, we walked out, went to this fabulous steak restaurant and had an amazing steak because we had had so much sweet. We had a sugar rush. But yeah, that exactly indicative of how tea acts on the gut.
I mean, if you're feeling inspired and want to try this at home, we have our tea-inspired website. So chocolate, cheese, pairings, just give it a try, because I think it really actually just bang on in terms of if you want to be indulgent, but also take that step in wellness. It's just a match made in heaven.
Yeah. What does bang on mean, son?
Oh, these are all... come on. Seriously.
Okay. Gen Z stuff. Okay.
No, yeah. I don't think that's Gen Z either, but yeah. Somewhere there in the universe.
Okay, so the point of it all is tea is a cup of goodness.
Tea is a cup of goodness, yeah.
Cheers.
That is the conclusion, yes.
Raise your glass,
Cheers,
son.
or what? Isn't it do try it?
Yeah, it is actually. So 3, 2, 1. Yes,
Do try it.
Do try it.